Alright, this is it. It's a 1986 Chevrolet solid axle swapped S10. No more front end dependent suspension. Shit's whack. Don't put the 2.5 inch rough country lift kit on here unless you want to hop up and down the road like you got hydraulics. But anyways, let's get down to the video and break it down. I got shit I gotta do. Okay, this this axle came off of a Jeep. Came off of a 1991 XJ. No, it came off of a 91 Wrangler. I'm sorry, 91 Wrangler. Well, Jeep from 1995 and under, they came with a one-piece axle shaft. So when they come from the factory, you got your axle shaft coming through here, and you got a bunch of bullshit right here, which I deleted. It's called your CAD. I deleted the one-piece axle shaft where it connects two together right here, and now I just have one. What you got in here is a locking collar that works off of a vacuum that slides in and out, and you have a spline here and a spline there, two separated axles that are divorced from each other. Well, what that collar does, works off a vacuum. When you put it in four-wheel drive, this collar slides this way and it is connected onto both splines, and that's how it works. Well, I deleted that weak ass bullshit because I'm running 35 1250 tires, and this is just a Dana 30. I don't want to push it and break it and be stranded out in the woods. And so you can go to rustysoffroad.com, and for $18 you'll get a seal in this plate right here, and you delete your CAD, redo your inner seal, and then you go to the junkyard and find you a Jeep that's 1995 and up, and you get the passenger side axle shaft out of it and stick it all in there, and then you delete that, which makes it a lot stronger. Okay. Ground's kind of fucked up now here. I've been working on a Honda, so. But anyways. This is how the back's set up. I'm going to start with the back first because it's the most complicated. Well, as you can see, this is nothing but square tubing. I got welded onto the frame, running all the way down. Then you got your plate welded and hanging off like a diving board. Then you got your two pieces of angle up there welded onto your frame for extra support. A hole drilled through it. Leaf springs go through it. Okay, here's the other side. You can see it's the same way. Alright, transmission cross member. Alright, this is a stock transmission cross member. All I did, you're gonna have to do something with it because you're not going to be able to run four-wheel drive until you do, because your drive shaft's going to be in the way. So what I did is, as you can see, I cut it right here, cut that bitch in half, and found a piece of tubing, smashed it flat, bent the hell out of it, and the other piece of my cross member I cut off, I welded it to it. Welded it to both sides. And now I have drive shaft clearance. Okay. You're also going to have to do something with your exhaust. Right now I'm running a temporary flex pipe because it's also going to be in the way of your drive shaft. Alright, now the drive shaft. Alright, this right here, from the U-joint to right here, came off of a Jeep drive shaft. From right here back is S10. Okay? What you do is you cut that shit in half. Get your Jeep axle, cut that shit in half. Drive shaft. Weld that motherfucker on there. Make the shit work. Don't make shit complicated. Okay? Now my shop angle is just temporary. I'm waiting on some shock hoops, and I'm in no hurry right now. It does just fine the way it is right now. One thing I forgot to cover: when you do the front of this truck, you're gonna have to cut all of your control arms, everything off with a plasma cutter. Don't use a torch. So you can see, cut that shit out. It's all the way gone. And then once you cut all of that out, you can either make your cross member like I did and weld it to your frame. As you can see, that's what's holding the front end of it up. Or you can go to skiesoffroaddesign.com. They have a kit that you can buy, and but I said the heck with it and went my own way about it, and it works just fine. It's the steering, okay? It's your Astro van steering box from my local junkyard, and it bolted right up. The reason for using the Astro van steering box, well, for one, the pitman arm is facing this way towards the front of the truck. That's what you want, okay? The S10 is facing the back on the first gen. So, easy solution, go grab you an Astro van steering box, okay? And let's see. Oh, and you're gonna have to notch the frame right here so this I have room to turn back and forth. Alright. Now, I've seen some guys, they cut this thing out from like right here and right there and just leave it out because you got this now. But you know, you really ain't got nothing to hook to for real. And I don't want to hook to my bumper. It's on a body lift and spacers, you know. I don't want to hook to this shit. It's what holds everything together. So, this is what I hook to. And it works perfect. So, don't cut it out. Okay? And I went spring over axle and spring purchase. What I did was just cut them off and angled them and welded them back on there. Yeah, you can buy a kit and put them on there, but you know, save some money, cut them off, welded them on. They don't leak. Oh yeah, I forgot. the tie rod. This came off of I believe a WJ Jeep. The one I had before came off of a XJ, and it was a little flimsy and wanted to bend on me, so I got one a little bit stronger. I believe it was a WJ, I'm not too sure. But yeah, you're going to need those tie rods. 97 Dodge Dakota leaf springs. I highly advise you to use 1997 or any kind of Dodge Dakota leaf spring if you wanted to have a good flex, because these right here flex so good. I can drive up on my ex-girlfriend's car if I wanted to, no problem, and smash the shit out of it. Well, but I'd be going to jail, so I don't do that. There's another look at the back while we're on this side of the truck, you know. It's real simple. Square tubing, welded a plate to the bottom of my frame with square tubing coming out of it, you know, blah blah blah. My extra supports. Another look at that homemade half of a transmission cross member. And now we can start with the back. Alright, I'm gonna start with the leaf spring, since this is what I'm focused on. Alright, this is just my stock S10 leaf spring. Nothing too special about it, right? Well, I got to do the lift in the back. These are 2.5 rough country shackle drops. Okay. And then you got 3-inch aluminum blocks, and if you can find steel blocks, please run steel. I mean, the aluminums are okay for a little bit, but right there in the bottom, when they start to shift, they start to wear out and get beat out and shit because they're weak. You can see this one's kind of shifting on me too. Had to cut the suspension mount off, relocate it, weld it back on. And same thing for this side. It's got a little mud on there, but those were cut off and welded back on along with your spring purchase. Those were cut, adjusted, and welded for the perfect angle. As you can see, there's that bullshit weld. But they work. But I think this one leaks a little bit because I penetrated too hard. So try to be easy. This is a Ford 8.8 axle. It came out of a 1996 Ford Explorer. The drive shaft